You never attract what you want. You attract what you are. This is an effort. This is magnetism. Bob Proctor. Everyone told you that success requires sacrifice, that you need to bleed for your dreams, that if you're not exhausted, you're not trying hard enough. But what if all of that is just part of a well-told lie? What if the secret to getting what you want isn't in doing more, but in doing things differently? The world is full of people who run, and never arrive. They work 10, 12, 14 hours a day and remain stuck in the same place. It's not because they're lazy. It's because they've been conditioned to use force instead of vibrational intelligence. Most people confuse movement with progress, but movement doesn't mean advancement. If you're on a treadmill, you can run all day and still end up exactly where you started. And what separates those who run from those who fly is awareness. Bob Proctor used to say, "You don't need to work hard. You need to work with your mind. The mind is the creator. The body is merely the executor. The key isn't in brute effort, but in inner alignment. Because when you're aligned with what you want, the right doors open. The right people appear. Time seems to bend in your favor, and success comes, not as a result of suffering, but as a natural consequence of who you've become. This isn't magic. This is universal law. Have you ever noticed how some people seem lucky? They don't struggle as much as others, yet everything works out for them. It's because they don't operate through effort. They operate through vibration. They've learned something most people ignore. The outer world responds to your inner world. If inside you there is scarcity, struggle, difficulty, that's what you'll project. That's what you'll attract. But if inside you there's confidence, clarity, lightness, then success flows. It's like swimming with the current. You don't need to push hard. You just need to know where you're going. Now listen carefully. You can succeed without desperate effort. But to do that, you need to do one thing. Change your internal programming. Because your results don't come from what you want. They come from what you believe you are. Bob Proctor called this a paradigm. A paradigm is a set of beliefs that governs your behavior, and your behavior creates your results. You may want wealth, but if, deep inside, you still believe that money is hard, that success is only for some, that you're not good enough, your body may work 18 hours a day, but your mind will keep pulling the handbrake. And no matter how hard you step on the gas, if the mental brake is pulled, you'll never move forward. That's the truth nobody wants to tell you. You don't need to work yourself to death. You need to break free from the mental patterns that keep you stuck. Now hear me. The universe does not respond to your effort. It responds to your frequency. And frequency is not measured in sweat. It's measured in feeling. You vibrate what you feel. You attract what matches your vibration. That's why some people seem to bloom with ease. They're not privileged. They've simply discovered that the secret to success lies in vibrational consistency, not personal torture. But that takes courage. Courage to stop comparing yourself. Courage to say no to the outside noise. Courage to be silent and listen to what your higher mind already knows. You already have everything you need inside you. The problem is you're used to trusting only your eyes. And eyes can only see the now. They don't see the energy you're generating. They don't see the internal shift you've already begun to build. And that's why so many give up halfway. Because they haven't yet learned to see with the mind. To see with the mind is to feel the victory before it arrives. It's to hold the faith even when the results haven't shown up yet. It's to act as if it already is, because energetically, it already is. And that's the turning point. If you truly want to succeed without being a slave to your own dreams, then start today by operating from a higher place. Backhand index pointing right, create a clear vision. Backhand index pointing right, feel that vision every single day. Backhand index pointing right, align your language, your actions, and your decisions with that vision. Backhand index pointing right, and absolutely reject everything that contradicts that vibration. You don't need to do more. You need to eliminate what disconnects you. Distractions, comparisons, doubts. These are the true energy thieves. Bob Proctor used to say, "Doubt has killed more dreams than failure ever will." And he was right. Success comes quickly to those who believe cleanly. No sabotage, no anxiety, no begging. Just the silent certainty of someone who already is what they desire to become. And in that state, the right ideas emerge. Action becomes inspired, not forced. You attract people who open doors, situations that feel like miracles, and opportunities that can't be explained, only felt. This is an effort. This is magnetism. You weren't born to crawl. You were born to manifest, to create, to move the invisible pieces of the universe with the power of your consciousness. But as long as you keep trying to force, you block. As long as you try to control everything, you repel. As long as you doubt, you paralyze. The mind is the true factory of success. The body only carries out the commands it receives. And here's a revelation that can change your entire life. You don't need to chase anymore. You need to attract. Because chasing is a sign of desperation. Attracting is a sign of power. And true success comes to those who vibrate as if they've already conquered. Most people try to reverse the order. They wait to succeed so they can feel confident. They wait to win so they can feel prosperous. They wait to achieve so they can finally act like winners. But it's exactly the opposite. You need to feel now like someone who has already won, even without the money in your account, even without the results on paper. Because when vibration precedes reality, reality has no choice but to obey. That's the real work. It's not the work of killing a lion a day. It's the internal work of becoming who you need to be in thought, feeling, attitude, so that the external world aligns with your energy. Bob Proctor used to say, "You never attract what you want. You attract what you are." So stop now and look inward. Who have you been over the past few days? Someone who vibrates fear or confidence? Someone who complains or someone who is grateful? Someone who doubts or someone who decides? You can fool the world, but you can't fool your vibration. And the universe responds to it like a perfect mirror. If you want success with ease, without brutal effort, then you need to start working where almost no one does, on your frequency. And that requires discipline, because your mind, by default, has been trained for fear, for scarcity, for realism. But being realistic is the greatest saboteur of abundance. Because you weren't called to repeat reality. You were called to create a new one. And creation happens through the mind. If you can see it clearly, feel it deeply, believe in it firmly, and walk toward it consistently, you will create it. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter what others say. That reality will be yours. Because it already is yours, energetically. That's what Bob Proctor called living from the higher mind. While others try to control the world with their hands, you will command it all with your consciousness. And from that point on, effort changes shape. It's no longer struggle. It becomes ritual. Action not from desperation, but from inspiration. You wake up energized. You work with purpose. You decide with clarity. And you go to sleep in peace, knowing the entire universe is already conspiring in your favor. This is the new paradigm. The paradigm of those who succeed without killing themselves, without burning out, without losing themselves. Because the real effort is staying true to your vibration, even when the outside world tries to pressure you to give in. And that's when success comes. It doesn't scream. It doesn't need to explode. It simply arrives, silent, solid, inevitable, like the harvest of someone who planted with full awareness. And you're ready for this. If you've listened this far, it's not by accident. This isn't just a video. This is a calling. It's your higher mind knocking on the door, saying, "Hey, wake up. Enough of living small. Enough of forcing. Now it's time to magnetize." And now, all that's left is for you to act like someone who understands. This isn't effort. This is magnetism. You didn't come this far by accident. It wasn't just a random click. It wasn't just another video. It was life giving you a reminder. You were born to thrive with ease. You were born to be guided by the mind, not dragged by exhaustion. You were born to magnetize, not to beg. You were born to receive the best without drowning in the need to deserve it. From this moment on, look at yourself through new eyes. You don't need to destroy yourself to build a successful life. You only need to access the power point that has always been within you, your vibration. Ordinary people struggle. Conscious people attract. And today, you just crossed that threshold. Your journey changes now. The reality around you will begin to reorganize itself according to your new vibration. And when it happens, you'll remember this moment. But before you go, do something that will seal this commitment to your new identity. Subscribe to this channel right now. Here, you'll receive content that feeds your mind and elevates your consciousness. Turn on the notifications, because every video that reaches you will be another step in your transformation. And most importantly, declare your decision publicly in the comments. Write it in bold, capital letters, with conviction and truth. Effortless success. Yes, write that now. Let the universe see it. Let your mind record it. Let your old self know that the era of struggle is over. Now begins the era of consciousness, the era of vibration, the era of success with ease. And if this moved you, share it. Someone out there needs to hear this today. I'll see you in the next video. This is an effort. This is magnetism.